Here is the recap of the first season of Dune Prophecy. The action of the series takes place 10,000 years before the events of the movie Dune. Humans have settled in the vastness of our galaxy for many centuries and once created artificial intelligence, which subsequently enslaved them. Mankind, by incredible efforts, managed to destroy the robots. After that, any intelligent machines became forbidden. Years later, a young woman named Valya Harkonnen is furious that their great house is considered traitors, because supposedly their ancestor, being a general, at the most crucial moment ordered a retreat to save his people. But the House of Atreides, on the contrary, heroes, it is they who, according to rumors, managed to overthrow the intelligent machines in the final battle. Valya Harkonnen is hungry for justice and encourages her brother to help her. She intends to meet with a representative of House Atreides and convince him to recognize the merits of her house in that war. However, for some reason, they kill her brother. Valya decides to take revenge on her enemies at all costs and persuades her sister Tula to help her. Tula takes a few months to gain the Atreides' trust, and during a festival she poisons everyone who is present, after which she returns to her planet. Meanwhile, Valya goes to study at a special school for girls. It's a Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. After the war with machines, people realize that humanity must evolve. So the Order of Bene Gesserit secretly set out to improve the abilities of humans. They, using forbidden technologies of intelligent machines, collected a database of the entire genocode of mankind. With its help, they intend to derive the ideal person, which will later be controlled. Of course, only a few people know about this, even in the Sisterhood itself. The Order of Bene Gesserit has developed incredible abilities. For example, the women of the Sisterhood are able to read people's emotions without problems and understand whether a person is lying or not. They are also able to perfectly control their bodies and nervous systems and even process poisons inside the body, neutralizing them. Valya, along with other novices, is trained at the Bene Gesserit school, but cannot let go of the past and give herself completely to the Order. Rakella, the founder of the Sisterhood, notices something in Valya, so she tells her the purpose of their order and shows her the genocode base of all humanity. After a while, Rakella decides to make Valya and another sister named Dorothea a Reverend Mother. This is a very dangerous procedure for which the sisters have been preparing for years. They must take a special poison made roughly speaking from spice from Arrakis, then molecularly alter it in their bodies. This will cause unprecedented agony, and the consciousness of the women will merge with the consciousness of all their ancestors in the female line. Dorothea agrees to the procedure, but Valya is afraid. Rakella gives her time to think it over and lets her go to her home planet. There, Valya meets her sister Tula and learns that she took revenge on Atreides. After that, the main character takes the poison and becomes a Reverend Mother. Soon she returns with Tula to the Order, where her sister also begins her training. After a while, Rakella begins to wither from old age. On her deathbed, the founder of the Order sees a prophecy about a certain tyrant who will destroy their sisterhood. This prediction has something to do with the desert planet of Arrakis, where spice is harvested, as well as mysterious blue eyes. After the death of the founder, her granddaughter Dorothea is supposed to become the head of the Order. Valya learns that she is going to destroy the entire human genome database, so she uses her voice to force Dorothea to kill herself. For the record, voice is Valya's innate ability. She can use it to order people to do anything, and they can't resist her. She will later teach the voice to the other sisters of the Order. 30 years have passed. Valya is the leader of the Bene Gesserit, and her sister Tula helps raise a new generation of sisters. During this time, the Order's influence has spread to all the great houses of the human empire. The sisters are assigned to the most powerful families as truthsayer. Roughly speaking, they are counselors who read opponents and tell their masters their true motives. However, the sisters are unquestioningly loyal to the Order and secretly perform various tasks for them, including spying on noble houses. Valya wants to make one of the Order's novices an emperor so that the empire will stabilize and various internecine wars will stop. To do this, She wants to marry the Emperor's daughter, Inez, to a 9-year-old boy from a noble house, whose fleet will help defend Arrakis. One day, Desmond, a soldier who survived on Arrakis after being eaten by a sandworm, shows up at the Emperor's palace. Emperor Haviko Corino doesn't believe his words at first, but after watching a recording of the incident, he realizes it is true. The Emperor's truthsayer, after meeting Desmond, sees the same omen as their founder years ago. She rushes to the planet where the Bene Gesserit school is located. She tells Valya what has happened, but she doesn't believe her. At this time, there is a dinner party where the Emperor's daughter and her young fiancé get acquainted. Inez learns that the boy has brought a toy, which turns out to be an intelligent machine. Desmond manages to disarm it, but the Emperor hesitates to punish his daughter's future husband, despite the fact that it is a serious violation of the law. However, at night, Desmond meets the boy in the corridor and somehow unknowingly burns him. The same thing happens to the Emperor's truthsayer on the other side of the galaxy at the Bene Gesserit school. Valya witnessed the incident and realized that it really has something to do with the prophecy of their founder. Valya convinces her sister Tula to use one of her students to perform a ritual. It turns out that the novice Lila is the great-granddaughter of their founder Raquella. If the young woman undergoes the Reverend Mother's procedure, her memory will unite with her ancestors, and thus they can learn more details about that prophecy. However, this ritual is very dangerous for an unprepared person, as Lila's consciousness can simply dissolve into the memory of her ancestors. Lila agrees to take the risk and gives Sister the information that the person who can save the Order from the impending threat is someone who has been reborn in spice. She also sees how Valya killed Dorothea in the past. However, Lila fails to overcome the challenge. The ancestral memory consumes her, and she falls into a coma. Tula can't cope with the loss of her favorite student, for her Lila was like her own daughter, so she secretly tries to resurrect the young woman with the help of spice, thus making her fit the prophecy. Desmond confesses to Emperor Haviko that he killed the boy. The man convinces his lord that he did it for the sake of the Empire. Haviko initially imprisons him, but soon the Emperor's wife, Natalia, convinces her husband to use such a loyal dog for his own purposes. Just at this time, Valya arrives in the capital and tries to manipulate the Emperor into settling recent events and giving her Desmond. However, Desmond manages to uncover Valya's evil intent and she is banished from the castle. During the night, the Reverend Mother tries to kill the man and orders him by voice to slit his own throat, but the voice doesn't work on him for some reason, so Valya leaves the castle in a hurry. Meanwhile, we are shown a rebel cell that is located in the capital. They do not like the current arrangement of things in the galaxy, and they are trying in every possible way to prevent the Empire from doing its dirty deeds. They have long been planning to kill the Emperor and the leaders of other noble houses. The main spy in their organization is Kirin Atreides, a swordmaster in the Emperor's castle. It is up to him to help the rest of the conspirators plot a route for an intelligent machine packed with a bomb that will kill everyone during the Council of the Noble Houses. Leaving the Imperial Castle, Valya goes to the head of the Harkonnen house, where she is not particularly welcome and for all that was in the past between them, although she is part of their family. Soon, Valya kills the current head of the house, after which the leader of the Harkonnens becomes a young and ambitious guy named Harrow. Valya successfully manipulates him and becomes his truthsayer in order to get to the upcoming Council of Great Houses. It turns out Bene Gesserit is secretly leading the rebels, and Valya's plan is to save everyone from the explosion they will set off during the council. Thus she will once again win the trust of the Emperor. However, during the meeting, Desmond appears and shows the bomb he discovered. It turns out that the man has conducted an investigation and learned about the upcoming conspiracy. Desmond executes the conspirators in front of everyone, burning them with his power. In doing so, he also kills some of the leaders of the great houses who were secretly trading in intelligent machines. Valya's plan has failed, but she's not about to give up. The Reverend Mother still wants to kill Desmond, so through Harrow, Harkonnen leaks him information that Bene Gesserit is somehow connected to the Resistance. Soon Desmond finds the rebel headquarters where one of the sisters, who is also a Freeman, is working undercover. The building with Desmond is blown up, but he manages to activate the shield in time and miraculously survives. Meanwhile, Valya manages to get Desmond's blood and send it to Tula in the Order so that she can find out who the man with such incredible powers really is. In the Order, almost all the students have the same ominous dream, which ends with a sandworm and blue eyes. Tula at first thinks it's all a coincidence, but after feeding the young women spice and putting them into a trance, she becomes convinced that they have indeed seen the same prophecy of Rakela. Soon, Tula manages to awaken Lila, but her consciousness is not stable, and from time to time the personalities of the young woman's ancestors awaken instead. Suddenly, the founder of the Order, Rakela, is at the helm. She decides to help figure out who Desmond really is and how he is able to burn people with his mind. Eventually, they learn that the man is descended from both the Harkonnens and the Atreides, and was born to the Reverend Mother Tula. It turns out that when she used to gain the Atreides' trust in the past and killed everyone at the festival, she actually fell in love with her enemy and got pregnant by him. Tula later told her sister Valya about it, and the supercomputer told them that her son would become a great man with proper upbringing. Tula didn't want that fate for her child, so she faked his death, sent him to another family, and never heard from him until then. In the present, the Reverend Mother learns that Desmond has been burning people with some sort of nanomachine virus that a man can activate at will. Together with another sister of the Order, they try to find a cure. As it turns out, everyone who has visions is infected, but they have no luck finding an antidote. Tula decides to act immediately, and without telling anyone goes to the capital of the Empire to meet her son. Meanwhile, Lila's consciousness is replaced by Dorothea, the same woman who was killed by Valya's voice 30 years ago. She meets with the other sisters of the Order and tells the truth about what happened in the past. It turns out after Valya killed her, she also executed the other women who supported Dorothea. In the present, she informs the others that the Sisterhood has gone down the wrong path. Together, they break into the underground cellar where the human genome database is located and destroy the sentient machine. The Emperor's son Constantine accidentally discovers that their swordmaster Kieran is a rebel. Desmond sends him to jail. However, the Emperor's daughter Inez, who believes that her father is a bad leader of the Empire, and in general something needs to change, decides to release Kieran, with whom she had a secret relationship. However, her mother Natalia takes Inez into custody. Meanwhile, Valya realizes that her plans are starting to fall apart. Let me remind you that she wanted to take Inez for training in the Sisterhood and then make her empress. So Valya goes to the palace to free her. The plan is as follows. They replace Inez in prison with Sister Theodosia, who has a unique ability to take on any appearance, and then escape from the palace. According to the plan, they must kill the disobedient emperor. Only his wife Natalia also realizes that the emperor is too weak. So she conspires with Desmond to make Haviko their puppet, but in reality, the empire is ruled by Natalia. At this time, the emperor realizes that he has been the Sisterhood's puppet all along, so he kills himself. And Natalia sets it up as if it was the Bene Gesserit who killed him. We are also shown a scene of Valya Harkonnen taking the device that recorded Valya's conversation with the other sisters about the upcoming assassination attempt on the Emperor and the release of Inez. Valya and Inez escape from the palace, taking Kieran with them. They make it to the port, but Desmond and his men catch up with them. Valya confronts him, and the man activates the virus, after which both lose consciousness. Just at that moment, Tula appears and explains to Valya how to fight this virus. Valya lets it pass through her and learns the truth about Desmond. It turns out what was on Arrakis isn't true. He wasn't consumed by any worm. In fact, some person we know nothing about implanted intelligent machines in Desmond's eye that controlled the virus. As I understand it, he didn't realize he was being manipulated all along. What about the visions? I'm not sure how they work either. The sandworm is the well where Dorothea's followers were buried. We saw them when Dorothea, in the form of Lila, drained the well and showed the other sisters the truth. The blue eyes, on the other hand, are just bifurcated LEDs from the intelligent machine that experimented on Desmond. Meanwhile, Tula awakens her son, and they are finally reunited. But the man orders her arrest. Valya, Inez, and Kieran escape and fly to Arrakis, where they plan to continue fighting their enemies. This is the end of the first season. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.